I think we've got to get Richard Lockwood working and moving and grooving here. And Shahzad, I think, was last year, scored a 70 or something. Quite outrageous. And I think it would be still probably
He's a little pocket rocket.
Power play.
Shahzad seems to have toned down this.
Sir Richard. Because I think we've got to get Richard Lockwood working and moving and grooving here. Machine. Shahzad, I think, was last year, scored a 70
are in the house, they're loving Miss Barty.
Quite outrageous. I think it would be still probably
He's a little pocket rocket.
Power play.
Shahzad seems to have toned down this.
Sir Richard. Because I think we've got to get Richard Lockwood working and moving and grooving here. Machine. Shahzad, I think, was last year, scored a 70
are in the house, they're loving Miss Barty.
Quite outrageous. I think it would be still probably
He's a little pocket rocket.
Power play.
Shahzad seems to have toned down this.
Sir Richard. Because I think we've got to get Richard Lockwood working and moving and grooving here. Machine. Shahzad, I think, was last year, scored a 70
are in the house, they're loving Miss Barty.
Quite outrageous. I think it would be still probably
He's a little pocket rocket.
Power play.
Shahzad seems to have toned down this.
Sir Richard. I think we've got to get Richard Lockwood working and moving and grooving here. Machine. Shahzad, I think, was last year, scored a 70
are in the house, they're loving Miss Barty.
Quite outrageous. I think it would be still probably
He's a little pocket rocket.
Power play.
Shahzad seems to have toned down this.
Sir Richard. I think we've got to get Richard Lockwood working and moving and grooving here. Machine. Shahzad, I think, was last year, scored a 70
are in the house, they're loving Miss Barty.
Quite outrageous. I think it would be still probably
He's a little pocket rocket.
Power play.
Shahzad seems to have toned down this.
Sir Richard. I think we've got to get Richard Lockwood working and moving and grooving here. Machine. Shahzad, I think, was last year, scored a 70
are in the house, they're loving Miss Barty.
Quite outrageous. I think
Anton Devcich is the new man out. He's had a quiet couple of games whilst the Gladiators have been on their winning run. So tweaked a hamstring, I think, in one of the previous matches. But it's too full on Shane Watson, and it sneaks underneath his bat. Marchant Lange celebrates, and Mustafa, well, he got a little bit excited, the old boy. Shane Watson wasn't too pleased, and the groundsman and the umpires are not too pleased with the rain that's falling either. Forget that we need 5 overs to constitute a match. We're through 2.2 at the moment. That wicket will also have driven up the Duckworth-Lewis score, I believe. Without loss, it was 52 was the par score from 5. That would have gone up. Oh, it's only gone up by 1, Richard Lockwood tells me, after the wicket of Shane Watson, so it hasn't made a massive amount of difference. But this is very frustrating. There's been a lot of rain in the area, mainly in Sharjah and Dubai. We've kind of missed the worst of it here. But that we've managed to get as much cricket in as we have may have surprised 1 or 2 in the local areas. At the moment, we'll keep our fingers crossed that we can complete this game one way or the other. In Sharjah and Dubai, we've kind of missed the worst of it here.
The weather gods. And who would have thought? Here in Abu Dhabi, in the UAE. Quite a bit of rain around today, and in fact overnight too. Skipper's the only one out just moments ago. Bowled by Mustafa. Mustafa got him. Shahzad. He's striking at 300. He's loving it out there. Here in Abu Dhabi, in the UAE.
1 for 11. For Mustafa, Marchant Lange got the treatment from Shahzad in his only over of the contest. So it's 25 for 1, 53 for 1 would be the par score after 5 in order to constitute the match here. But we are hopeful that this will just be a shower. Team Abu Dhabi made 118 for 4. Madsen top scoring with 29 from his 2 overs. Gladiators need 94 from 46, and we hope we'll get all of those 46 deliveries in for you. So the Super League stage is well underway. Bang the Tigers with their fabulous victory, defending just 103 against the Northern Warriors in the second game this afternoon, are now top. Deccan Gladiators are nestled in behind them on 6 points. Team Abu Dhabi are cut loose, adrift down there in bottom. They need to get this game over and done with and get 2 points on the board. We'll take a break now. See you on the other side. Game over and done with and get 2 points on the board. We'll take a break now. See you on the other side. Down there in bottom, they need to get this game over and done with and get 2 points on the board. We'll take a break now. See you on the other side.
This game has the power to pull you in. And all it takes is one incredible moment. It can happen anytime, in any city, on any night. And once you've witnessed what's possible, you can't wait to see what's next. Watch the NBA live.
Hello and welcome to the magnificent Zayed Cricket Stadium here in Abu Dhabi for the first match of the 3rd edition of the T10 competition, the older properties Abu Dhabi T10 between Maratha Arabians and the Northern Warriors.
2 captains alongside in the West Indian colours, and it's very good luck and wonderful to see you, Darren Sammy. For the Northern Warriors up against the Maratha Arabians is the DJ. Who's got the coin you're going to call Big D.
T10 competition, the older properties
Heads is a call, we've got a roller, Roche.
Arabians and the Northern Warriors. It's heads.
In the West Indian colours. It's
and
heads.
it's very good luck and
Come on, don't run away. I know you've got a sore finger, but not a sore leg. What are you going to do here, Big D?
We're going to bowl first.
New pitch and all those sort of things?
Yes, new pitch, new venue. You know, the ground looks good. I must admit the wicket looks good, but we'll look to bowl first. Hopefully, restrict them to a total, and in the end, come and chase it down.
Well, great to see the two great West Indians out there in the middle together. Dino, here are the teams. What do you make of them?
Well, look, straight away, you've got Chatty Walton up the top there with Chris Lynn. The power's already there. Adam Laughlin Wackett. Yuvraj is there. He looked in good form, hitting the ball in the nets. Dwayne Bravo, outstanding. And there's some wonderful bowlers. Malinga, McClenaghan, Shahzad. They're all very, very good. This is a very, very good Arabians. On the other hand, Munsik and Wackett to all parts. You've got Billings, Gunaratne, Darren Sammy's in there, Andre Russell. There's power everywhere. Chris Green has been outstanding. Pradeep's good to see him back in the team here. And Chris Wood. How's that for a T10 team?
Yeah, listen, there's power everywhere on both of those sides. Any advantage at all for the Warriors chasing?
Well, we're back here for T10. And it is delightful conditions. First two seasons, of course, were in Sharjah. And that is a smaller ground for sure. Chris Wood, he's going to get things underway here for the Warriors. Rightio, here we go. Oh, first ball, there we are. Green says that's mine, you've got to go at him live. He just checked it a little bit. And going to concern about the pace and the pitch. Because it's new, it's the start of a tournament, brand new, at him live. Pays the penalty with a golden one. Very first ball of T10 Season 3. It's none for one. Protege. Smart. Here we are in T10 in 2019, and here's the first boundary. Races away on the slick outfield. Start of a tournament, brand new. Don't muck around, it's a skimmer. Almost went for a maximum.
Game. That is over the top and it'll run away for a boundary, Danny. So the key is moving around.
Oh, not shy to go there either. Down on one knee, we've got back-to-back boundaries here. I got enough of it. Of course, Walton will have seen a lot of Chris Green. Hat-trick of boundaries in the Caribbean.
So the key is moving around.
Oh, he's lucky he's miscued it. No, not enough. What a good catch.
Still got it, hit high in the blade, didn't quite get it. Now this is a really good catch because he heard it off the bat and dived, and look at that for technique. Ling goes for 4. The Arabians 23 for 2. Take the over, and it didn't work, Danny. It didn't work. Nice little deflection by the champion, Yuvraj Singh. Another boundary, first one. Now this is a really good catch because he heard it off.
Well, that's going to disappear surely. Can't bowl those.
This is the batsman, 23 for 2. Or the bowler on that occasion, sorry. And that will be out, surely, and it is.
Well, you called it at the top of the show, Dean Jones. Send batters back.
It just got stuck in the wicket and he's hit that ball with the arms. She's Andre Russell, he doesn't miss them, but nice start to Walton for the tournament. Goes for 24 off 17. And the Arabians now 32 for 3.
Well, you called it at the top of the show, Dean Jones. Well, that's gone a long way up. It's got snow on it. Emirates is celebrating. And that's why it's Chris Green underneath it.
He's through the shot. It was like a knuckleball. He's trying to hit with the breeze. That's smart, but I tell you what, in Shahzad, that's 6. Here, it's out. The Arabians now in a bit of trouble. 35 for 4.
Well, it's gone a long way up. It's got snow on it. Emirates is celebrating. Oh, he's drilled it down the ground. All muscle.
He's trying to hit with the breeze. That's smart, but I tell you
well, that'll find the boundary. And boy, did the Arabians need that.
So Andre Russell going about his work, and he's been shoveled over extra cover. It might go for 4, and it does. The 10th boundary in this bowled him too, just too good. Saw him move across.
Too cute. Look at that. Little pole and all. Big miscalculation, but Fuller, unlucky 13, Chief. You got to go. Arabians 62 for 5 now.
The 10th boundary
There's a change of pace, and that, Fat City here in Abu Dhabi. Is that our first one?
Timed it well. One of the hardest shots in the game over extra cover.
Big miscalculation. Fuller, unlucky 13.
One-hander, Danny, but not to Andre Russell. Holy moly, what's happened here?
In white ball cricket. Saranga, yeah, confirmation he gets a blob. And the Arabians, 71 for 6 here. This, of course, is T10. And that sounded useful. Very useful indeed.
Didn't overhit. Didn't overhit. Really good balance through that, Danny. I love that. The way, what I call the smash factor.
Yeah, confirmation he gets a blob. And has he got enough of this? 71 for 6 here. Just plugged a little, but can still find the fence. Very useful indeed.
Didn't overhit.
Last ball.
Didn't overhit.
Should be out, is it?
Danny, I love that.
Oh, I didn't get there. Well, you'd expect this guy to take those every night of the week. Has given the Arabians something there. Tell you what, the Warriors with a few high fives all around, I think they'll be pretty confident, and they think they should track this down, Dino. A surface that is not quite as slick as maybe some of us thought. Walt, useful contribution, and Shanaka, the only real standouts. Fuller got a little too cute and was out for 13. But no one really cut loose at the top. Then you thought, well, Lynn maybe. Adam Lyth out for a golden, well, a royal one, I'm told by Dean Jones. Very first ball of the match.
With the new ball, 2 for 18. Green bowl was quite tidy. Russell, as good as ever, 2 for 12. Geez, a good bowler. Pradeep just hurt a little bit there with his last over. But Emirates, gee, he's been a consistent professional player for a long time with his 1 for 15. So,
37. Not out. Time for the Warriors. Sam Billings and Coda tracked down 89 from 60 balls. Very, very gettable.
Yeah, you have to say their favourite, Stan.
A lot of those runs, with all due respect, are not against a guy like Malinga. So we're about to see, gets runs against him, IPL teams, Pakistan Super League teams, or GT20s, where he was very good at. He had a very good GT20.
60 balls. Very, very gettable.
Now, really, they know his hitting areas. All the teams got these analytics, these all specialist people that work out where their strong areas. On the leg side for Muncie, nearly dead. And that might run away for a welcome boundary. Not great for Mitch. He obviously hasn't bowled to Muncie enough before, because that's his go-to area.
Now, really, they know his hitting area.
Down the ground and just over the head of the man inside the circle at mid-off. Muncie is motoring. And it's DJ Bravo. And you cannot keep him out. He's picked up a wicket with his very first delivery.
Saw him coming off the toe of the bat. It was out all the way. These guys at this level don't miss these. And there, Lynn takes the catch. So Billings has got to go. 1. The Warriors in bitter trouble. 12.
Keep him out. Oh, that's gone. That's gone many, many a mile. Put a stamp on it and throw it back.
Nice. Nicely honing in there. Unlucky Sharan.
4. And with third man and backward point up inside the circle. James Fuller is full, put down the leg side, and Russell picks up another 4.
The Mazansi Super League is back. Get all the action, the centuries, the bouncers, the runs. Also catch the catches live. Mazansi Super League from 8th November to 16th December. Live and exclusive on Sony 6 and Sony ES.
Welcome back to the Sheikh Zayed Stadium. The Deccan Gladiators are waiting to find out what their run chase total will be. Team Abu Dhabi posted 119 for 4, but the game has been reduced to a 5-over contest. We believe the start time will be 9:46, so not long from now. And by our calculations up here in the box, I say ours, Richard Lockwood's, I've got absolutely no clue. But on the duck with Lewis Stern, he thinks it's 62 that the Gladiators will need to make in the next 2.4 overs. So another, where are we? Another 37 runs. That's what we think in 16 deliveries. But we're waiting for official confirmation of that. I have to reiterate. So just impress upon you that we've got a start at 9:46. It's been reduced to a 5-a-side game or a 5-over run chase, and we think that the total that the Gladiators require is 62. We will confirm deliveries, but we're waiting for official confirmation of that.
Just to get confirmation upstairs, I've gone in the back.
I doubt you at your peril. Of course, you know, there is precedent, isn't there, of not knowing or not getting this absolutely right. Just ask poor old Sean Pollard in the World Cup back in 2003, where he took the par score as the winning score. They failed to run a single off the last ball and lost the game by 1.
Yeah, because it's always that total plus the 1 on the sheet.
So we think what Lockie is telling us is that it's 62 for the win, so 61 for a tie. But again, even with Dino's analytical brain going absolutely haywire here, we're not 100% certain of that as yet, so just bear with us.
So what's the importance of this game now? The winner, where does he go? How is important to both these teams? The Gladiators, they're flying, they've done all right. They're at the top. I reckon they're already there. They're qualified for me with 6 points. They only get 6 games each team. Abu Dhabi, if they lose here, I think they're done. Particularly with that net run rate of minus 0.89, I think they're done. So they need to win this game.
Well, players and the umpires are making their way out to the middle. We still haven't
6 games each team. Abu Dhabi need to win this game. I think they're done.
Well, players and the umpires are making their way out to the middle. We still haven't received official confirmation of the target score. Obviously, the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed that 9:46 has also come and gone, so we've not been right on anything yet.
Well, let's go the other way. Let's think of what the coaches are doing. See what's happening here. Mushtaq is trying to find out what's the correct total here, and I think they know what it is.
Nobody knows. Nobody's got a clue at the minute.
Well, if I was these two, I wouldn't be taking a ball until I knew what the total was. That's just ridiculous. So the bottom line is, if you're Mushtaq and you've got Pollard sitting in the shed, are these the two, knowing you need 37 off 16? Are you happy with Shahzad and Devcich to be facing the ball?
Well, I mean, listen, the problem was that the wicket fell, Shane Watson was knocked over, Devcich walked out next, he faced one delivery, and then they came off for rain, so there was nothing, you know, had they gone off before Devcich had made it to the middle, or before he'd faced the ball, absolutely no doubt that Andre Russell would be out there in the middle, but as it is, it's Shahzad, it's Devcich. Devcich walked out next. Mushy is just trying to make sure that everything's clear. It's clear to me, Dino, it's absolutely 100% clear to me that nothing's clear.
Well, that's right. So what I've done with my computer analytics, my computer, I've got Lockie just to whiz next door, just to have a word to the match referee and everyone, just to make sure they tick it off. So it's such an important game now. They go through this data and this formula to work out what's the right thing with what was the best overs and the least number of overs, what's fair for both teams and not.
Well, I cannot believe, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus here, but I can't believe the players are out there in the middle, the umpires are on the park, and we still do not know, they still do not know what the equation is. Surely you get all of this sorted out before you even step out into the middle.
Well, I told you the equation was 62. that's required.
Dino, if we're taking your word for it, then the game would be off, wouldn't it? We'd be playing.
Correct.
The umpires are on the park, and we still do not know. But until they make you Lord and Master of the tournament, we're waiting for the two men in the middle and the third umpire and the match referee to tell us, tell Moeen Ali, tell Shane Watson what in the devil is going on. The game would be off, wouldn't it? We'd be playing. Correct. Until they make you Lord and Master of the tournament, we're waiting for the two men in the middle.
So I get the feeling, and our analytics master here, Lockie, I reckon he's close to being right. I think they're going to go 62. Here's the number. So 62 will be their target, 61 for a tie. And I've got a feeling, though, even if it's a tie, that's not going to help them get through. I need to get a win Abu Dhabi here. So, with all this knowingness in place here, Butch, who do you think, which colours would you like to be wearing? Would you like to be Abu Dhabi with the ball, 37 off the next 16? Or would you like to be wearing blue and purple?
See if we can eavesdrop in on this conversation. Shane Watson is obviously not happy and hasn't had it explained to him to his satisfaction. The umpires are still hugging the perimeter of the ground. They're not happy to start because they don't know what the numbers are either. Really sorry about this at home. And whilst all this time is ticking by, you'd be asking yourself, well, why aren't they just playing a 10-over game? Why don't they get the game done without worrying about it? We're just wasting the night here. Of the ground, they're not happy to start because they don't know what.
So currently, Mustafa, well, he's going to get lucky here, or unlucky. He's got to bowl another 4. Now, when you're in a 5-over game, only the one over each to all the bowlers. And currently, the power play is finished now. I just wonder now, even though it's been readjusted, can he put fieldsman out now, out of the circle for the power play? So I've just thrown another cat amongst the pitches.
Well, that's good from you. That's good from you, Prof Dino. I've got to tell you, that is good because that hadn't entered my head yet. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Lockie's just telling us, confirming to us that the power play is over. And so Mustafa will get another couple of fielders outside the circle. 3 fielders outside the circle. That's good from you, and what do we? So we still think 16 balls. We think it's 35. But yeah, if the total is 62. But we've still not got any cricket. We've got no rain. We've got no covers. We've got no cricket.
Well, that's the first time ever in the history I've ever seen on any format of the game where one particular over, halfway through the over, we've got from the power play into a situation where you can put you can only just have 4 fieldsmen inside the circle. So that's quite bizarre in itself.
We've got no cricket.
So that's the first time ever in the history I've ever seen on any format of the game where one particular over, halfway through the over, we've got from the Benny Laughlin there. He'll bowl now. The question mark's now: who bowls the last over? Who bowls the second last over? Penultimate. How do you set it up? You've got to have 3 different bowlers, of course, to come in. Oh, sorry, another 2 bowlers because, of course, Mustafa has to finish off his overs here. So you only got 2 more different bowlers. So who do you bowl next?
Well, fortunately, Ben Laughlin's not had a bowl yet. So he'll be one of them. Just look down the list and see what the other option is. It'll be Harry Gurney for sure. Harry Gurney's has gone the journey in this tournament. It hasn't gone his way thus far, but my guess would be that once Mustafa's out of his over, it will be Ben Laughlin and Harry Gurney to finish it off. Or Team Abu Dhabi. Absolutely vital for Team Abu Dhabi that they get the points. Not so much for the Gladiators. They're in relative safety on 6 points already. But again, I apologise. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous that we've now wasted. We've gone nearly 10-12 minutes past the restart time. We still haven't had a ball bowled, and we still do not have 100% official confirmation of what the equation is. Players are getting cold out there. surprise me if we didn't get a hamstring or something. We've now wasted. We've gone from these guys who will have to be airing around for the next 15 or 16 deliveries. We still do not have 100% official confirmation. Team Abu Dhabi on the bottom with that poor net run rate. Just a win and a tie to their name. And they desperately need these points. Gladiators, as I said before, they're going all right at the top, and 1 point would suit them just fine.
So right now, if I was the coach, I'd be telling these players, your Abu Dhabi boys, go for a run around the ground together, keep warm. Your fielding coaches should be out hitting fly balls now. Some bowlers should be bowling at a stump, knowing the fact that all this conjecture and hullabaloo is not working itself out. It's quite laughable, really. But you've got to think on your feet, Mark. As a coach and as a captain, you've got to be saying, right, just don't start talking about what's going to bowl. We've got 2.4 overs to bowl here to make it a game. So let's just worry about our jobs. Let's just worry about making sure that we're warmed up, because there's nothing worse than a guy pulling a hamstring or doing it, or not knowing what their roles are, what lines and lengths they should be bowling in these last two. Personally, I'd like to be in the Gladiator spots if the total is right, 37 off the last 16 balls. I feel I'd be like to be, particularly with Shahzad, Devcich and Pollard, I'm favouring them at the moment. It's a 50-50 game here. Trevor Barnes, he's worried now. He's looking at his team now, thinking, now what can I do as a coach here? This is what he's thinking now.
He's not bothered in the slightest. He's just won a World Cup and a Super Over. This is nothing. There's no drama involved here at all compared to what he's just been through. Yeah, big grin on the face of Trev. He's seen everything. Been there, seen it, done it, got the T-shirt, ironed it. Oh boy, this is excruciating. And again, I apologise to those of you at home who are waiting for the conclusion of this one, because at the moment we're not getting any closer to finding out ourselves. Okay, while everybody downstairs tries to figure out what the devil is going on, we're going to take a short break. Again, I apologise. Downstairs tries to figure out what the devil is going on, we're going to take a short break. Again, I apologise. Everybody downstairs tries to figure out what the devil is going on, we're going to take a short break. Again, I apologise.
This game has the power to pull you in. And all it takes is one incredible moment. It can happen anytime, in any city, on any night. And once you've witnessed what's possible, you can't wait to see what's next. Watch the NBA live.
There's nothing that defines you, Sachin, better than the two games in Chargers.
When I saw the storm approaching us, suddenly all the players were down on the ground.
1-0 up, and we just come off a great century in Sydney.
When I got my 100 in Sydney, I looked up and I said, thank God. Best sessions of my life I've played when Dale Steyn and Moni Mokui bowled that spell.
It's always great to talk to the main actors themselves about the great scenes they've been acted in.
Watch the master reminiscing his master strokes in memorable master strokes. Friday to Sunday at 8 p.m. on Sony 6. The Mazansi Super League is back. Get all the action, the centuries, the bouncers, the runs. Also catch the catches live. Mazansi Super League from 8th November to 16th December. Live and exclusive on Sony 6 and Sony ESPN.
तोड़ देंगे फोड़ देंगे जो सामने आया निचोड़ देंगे कभी बैट्समैन करेगा लफड़ा कभी बॉलर लेगा पंगा पिच पर होगा टोटल दंगा
बॉल उड़ेगा, स्टंप्स उड़ेंगे और उड़ेंगे व्यूअर्स के होश। एंटरटेनमेंट की है गारंटी फुल ऑन। जब अबू धाबी में भिड़ेंगे क्रिकेट के सारे डॉन। मराठा अरेबियन से अपनी टीम का नाम, अब मैं भी आ रहा हूँ करने सबका काम तमाम। 10 ओवर धुआंधार, ये है क्रिकेट का नया अवतार। अलदार प्रॉपर्टीज अबू धाबी T10 लीग 14 से 24 नवंबर, सिर्फ सोनी 6 और सोनी 10-3 पर।
This game has the power to pull you in. And all it takes is one incredible moment. It can happen anytime, in any city, on any night. And once you've witnessed what's possible, you can't wait to see what's next. Watch the NBA live.
There's nothing that defines you, Sachin, better than the 2 games in charge.
When I saw the storm approaching us, suddenly all the players were down on the ground.
1-0 up, and you just come off a great century in Sydney.
When I got my 100 in Sydney, I looked up and I said, thank God. Best sessions of my life I've played when Dale Steyn and Moeen bowled that spell.
It's always great to talk to the main actors themselves about the great scenes they've been acted in.
Watch the master.
Well, welcome back to the Sheikh Zayed Stadium. I've got some very, very bad news for you, and I urge you not to shoot the messenger here, but the match has been abandoned. The points will be shared between the Gladiators and the Team Abu Dhabi. The reason for that is that the teams weren't able to be provided with the Duckworth Lewis sheet with the information. The regulations say they have to have a printout of the scores required. For some reason, we haven't been able to provide them with that. The organisers haven't been able to provide them with that. We've been waiting. We've now gone past the time by which the game had to have been restarted in order to get the 5 overs in. And the upshot of all of that is that the points have been shared. Dino?
Well, what upset me the most is that you need to have 5 overs for a minimum game. Now, we already know that, and they don't need a sheet, really, to go out there. We knew what the target score was 62 off the... They needed 37 off the last 16.
Because if the game doesn't get to 5 overs, there's no game anyway. So Correct. You don't need to know what the score needs to be at the end of the 3rd over, end of the 4th over, because if it doesn't go 5 overs, there's no game.
So it's bureaucracy at its best here. We needed a sheet, we didn't need a sheet, and unfortunately that's what's happened. So a lesson to be learned here by the event organising.
You know, you think you've seen everything in the game of cricket over your time in the game. Well, it's never true. There's always something else. There's smiles out there. The Team Abu Dhabi are still alive in the contest. I think it was probably a 50-50 game. They got back out there. Andre Russell sat in the dugout. Devcich and Shahzad out there. So it was anybody's guess as to who would have prevailed had they played the 5 over game. But as it is, the points have been shared. Team Abu Dhabi are probably just about in with a squeak of getting into the top 4 to get into the playoffs at the weekend. They've jumped up into 5th spot, 1 away from the playoff places, but they only have 1 game left. The Northern Warriors also on 4 points. Deccan Gladiators, well, that looks as though they are going to go through to me. It's a real battle royale between the teams in the bottom 6 places, really, as to who will get through into those playoffs. The Super League stage has suffered a couple of abandonments today. A real shame in match 16 and match 18. Nothing you could do about match 16, but match 18, well, who knows? Quite extraordinary. But anyway, that's the situation. Gladiators on top. Team Abu Dhabi with 1 game left, up into 5th spot, and all to play for over the next couple of days.
16, match 18.
So all that's left for us to do here is to tell you what's coming up tomorrow in the Order Properties Abu Dhabi T10. It's the Delhi Bulls taking on the Maratha Arabians. It's Owen Morgan versus DJ Bravo. Tomorrow, we'll see you at 3:15. Don't miss it. So all that's left for us to do here is to tell you what's coming up tomorrow. Order Properties Abu Dhabi T10. It's the Delhi Bulls taking on the Maratha Arabians. Owen Morgan versus DJ Bravo. Tomorrow, we'll see you at 3:15. Don't miss it.
Sony Live, we live to entertain. 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 Sony Live, we live to entertain.